Look closely at the shadows and depth in this scene. The overlapping layers create a rich, three-dimensional reality entirely out of flat paper. We are going to transform a standard digital photograph, like this crowned crane, into a dimensional work of physical art. First, we will use Inkscape, a free vector drawing program, to generate a crisp mathematical outline of our subject. Then, we will send that outline to a silhouette portrait, a digital die cutter that slices exactly along those lines into colored cardstock. To complete this process, you will need a clear reference photograph, Inkscape, Silhouette Studio software, a digital die cutter, and sheets of colored cardstock. This specific workflow bridges the gap between digital design precision and traditional, tangible physical craftsmanship. Step 1 is to import your reference photo into Inkscape and open the Trace Bitmap tool. This split screen shows the difference between the two main types of digital images. On the left is a raster image, like your photograph. When you zoom in, it breaks down into a staircase of blocky colored squares called pixels. On the right is a vector graphic. Instead of pixels, it uses mathematical equations to create a perfectly smooth, infinitely scalable line. A die-cutting machine does not interpret pixels. It requires an exact geometric path to tell the physical blade exactly where to move. Back in Inkscape, the Trace Bitmap tool analyzes the light and dark contrast in your photograph and automatically generates that required vector path. Translating a photograph's rich, continuous tones into a clean silhouette is your first critical design decision in capturing the subject's essence. Automatically traced paths rarely come out perfect. They capture too much detail, resulting in unnecessary geometric complexity. Look at this path in the Inkscape node editor. The outline is made up of nodes. These are the anchor points that act like joints in a skeleton, dictating exactly where the digital path changes direction. Right now, there are hundreds of tiny, redundant ones. If you send a path with hundreds of nodes to the die cutter, the machine will stutter. That hesitation causes jagged cuts and torn paper. To fix this, apply the Simplify command in the Path menu to clear out the bulk of the extra points. Then use the Node tool to manually delete any remaining redundant points. Simplifying nodes satisfies a technical requirement, but it is also an exercise in design. You are deciding what details are essential to the shape and what can safely be removed. With the main subject clean, we can compose the rest of the scene. In Inkscape, draw your background elements, like rolling hills, an acacia tree, and a sky. Fill these newly drawn digital layers with colors that match the physical cardstock you plan to cut. As you lay this out, consider the relationship between positive and negative space. The cut paper shapes, like the crane and the tree, form the positive space. The background cardstock showing through those cuts acts as the negative space. Building a complete digital mock-up acts as a crucial planning tool. It allows you to experiment with colors and layout on screen before committing to cutting any physical materials. Save your finalized design as a DXF file. DXF is the standard file format that acts as a bridge between drawing software and fabrication machines. A common mistake is sending the entire multi-layered file to the die cutter all at once. The machine will attempt to cut every layer into a single sheet of paper. Inside Silhouette Studio, select and deselect individual elements. Ensure the machine is only highlighting and cutting the specific layer that matches your currently loaded paper. Physically secure your chosen cardstock onto the sticky carrier sheet so it stays completely flat, and feed it into the cutting machine. The machine translates your digital vector path into precise, physical blade movements that human hands could never reliably match over complex shapes. The DXF file and the die cutter effectively pull your on-screen design logic straight into physical reality. Eject the carrier sheet from the machine and carefully peel away the negative space to reveal your clean-cut silhouette. To assemble the final piece, stack and glue the layers starting from the background sky, working your way forward to the foreground subjects. To avoid a common visual pitfall, trim or overlap your background edges slightly. This ensures the dark backing paper doesn't accidentally show through your foreground elements. During assembly, shapes that looked flat and separated on a screen acquire shadow, presence, and three-dimensional depth. Here is the final, fully glued physical collage. The overlapping layers of flat cardstock successfully create a dynamic, dimensional scene. You can apply this workflow to any subject. The same steps work for a submerged hippo or a pair of giraffes on the savannah. In the next step of our design journey, we will take these flat layered elements and expand them into fully three-dimensional shadow boxes. No matter how complex the final physical object becomes, it all begins with the simple act of looking closely at a photograph and drawing a clean line.